What up, gang? Central Coast Disc Golf is bringing you some more dynamic discs, discgolf.io, and TrueFlight sponsored disc golf action. As always, Dynamic Discs is sponsoring a Dymax giveaway, so make sure to like and comment for a chance to win. On the DD side of things, the Glassclone Open registration is open, so get on that if you can. I hear it's an amazing tourney. It's got a ton of fun events. Discgolf.io can be your solution if you need some kind of disc golf presence on the web. They host a Central Coast Disc Golf site for me. It's super easy to use. TrueFlight is my buddy Garrett Tapkin's company. He's got some sweet shirts and hats with the TrueFlight logo. I'll leave a link in the description. Make sure to check it out. But anyway, let's watch some disc golf.
Alright guys, Ian and Alex from Central Coast Disc Golf, bringing a little more Worlds coverage, and we have, what is this, round 4, Alex?
Yes. Third card.
Third card?
Wait, no.
Oh,
Sorry. They did, this is the fourth day, right?
yeah, fourth day, so it's probably like 7th round, 6th round, something like that.
There's a lot at Worlds.
There's too many rounds to count. But anyway, this is the first time they're playing Blue Lake, and we have the third card, and it should be some great disc golf. Let's get to watching it. Alright guys, we are out at Blue Lake. Got a little front nine for you, and on the card today is Michael Johansen, Cale Leiviska, Steve Brinster, and Philo Brathwaite. Bunch of cool guys, really good disc golfers, Alex.
It was a lot of fun to walk with them.
Yeah, this would be a really cool card to film. Little jealous of you. But we're starting off on hole 1, 455 feet, straight down the pipe, pretty low ceiling though. And Michael Johansen's up first. And he's throwing a little hyzer flip, Alex.
A lot of people throw rollers on this hole. I think I only saw Avery Jenkins actually put one up there with backhand.
Yeah, looks like Cale's opting for the air shot. It got just a little high with that really low ceiling. And Steve Brinster up next. Kind of surprised he's not throwing a roller, Alex. He's got a really good roller game.
Right.
Yeah, but pretty good looking air shot. And Philo Brathwaite up next. Also opting for the air shot.
Oh, the whole card did it. All right.
Yeah, interesting. I think almost the whole top card threw rollers. But Philo right here for the second shot. Still got to play 200 to go. But it gets it up there pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
Cale second. Nice looking up. MJ, he's a pretty quick player, isn't he, Alex?
Oh, MJ. All right. A lot of these guys will step up, take their time. Steve here.
Steve Brinster.
I probably cut out 40 seconds of this.
But MJ takes about 2 seconds.
MJ just takes out his disc and he doesn't do a practice anything. He just walks up there and throws it.
Ooh, what a putt from Steve.
Steve takes his time, but I mean, clearly it's worth it.
Yeah, right. Philo with his putt, saving a par right there. Cale with his par save, should be no problem. Cale's out of Minnesota, is that right, Alex?
I believe that's correct.
Yeah. MJ from North Carolina, something like that.
Yeah, he's down there with Schwebe and now Nate Sexton.
Yeah, a lot of good golf playing, played down there. A lot of cool courses. Up next is hole 2, 425. Got OB with the posts, I believe, on the right, and then the tall grass on the left is OB. Want to throw something that's not going to fade out too hard for you.
Right.
And there's also that Mando tree as well, right?
Yes, the tree on the right is Mando. I think you got to get left of that one.
Mm-hmm. So Steve's up first. Throwing a little hyzer flip at it. It's looking nice, Alex.
He doesn't even have to watch it end.
Yeah, right. Cool guys don't watch explosions. You just walk away. MJ kind of flirting with that Mando tree, but not too bad. Gets it down there. And Cale up third. Also throwing a hyzer flip to Annie. What do you think? Not bad?
That's not as close as you want, but I mean, that's better than I would do.
Yeah. Likewise.
Should have an easy par from there.
Yeah. Philo's looks like it didn't flip quite enough for him. And no,
it skips and then it hits off the OB post.
Oh, did it really?
It stays in bounds. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. MJ for a bird. Ooh. Good line. Just came up a little short. And a Cale from a little bit closer, but not much. Not so much. Philo, after the nice kick, has this for a birdie look. What's he about 40 out, Alex?
Yeah, he's just outside the circle.
Ooh, just chains out.
Gotta want it.
Yeah, you do. And a Steve after a killer drive. Has that tap in for a 2?
So when Steve's close, he'll lean in instead of doing a straddle putt.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'm not sure what exactly that distance is. Maybe inside 15 feet or something.
Huh, interesting. It works for him, though. He's a killer putter.
It's 2 birds.
Yeah, tearing it up. On to hole 3, 540 par 4. The basket's kind of tucked out on this peninsula surrounded by OB, and it's a pretty good dogleg left. There's kind of 2 ways that people are playing it, though, Alex. The short hyzer are kind of trying to get past that next layer of trees. And Steve's throwing that big hyzer line. You filmed the Masters guys too, right, Alex? Weren't they? They were kind of playing for the long shot, right?
That's right, yeah. Which is kind of what MJ is doing here.
Oh yeah.
I mean, as long as you're down there, you'll have a look at the basket, but it's a lot easier. I mean, the closer you are. There's a wall of trees there too that makes it tough to get around.
Yeah, if you don't get too far, you're gonna be in some serious trouble. So it looks like Kale took the hyzer line as well, taking the short alley. Yeah. Looks like Philo's lined up for the same. Yep, he's throwing that hyzer. It's a tough up from over there because I feel like the ceiling's a lot lower than if you throw it out where MJ did.
Right.
So you can see the basket down there, and it's the basket on the right of the 2. And looks like MJ got in bounds, yeah?
Right. He was able to go around the trees to the right. Kale's going to go in on the left side here.
Yep. He put himself in a really good spot. So this is kind of what happens if you give yourself a tweener shot. Gotta
Right.
Shoot a gap.
Just don't hit that tree and land OB. That's all you got to do here.
Yep. And Philo nailed it. Great shot. And a Steve app. That's a pretty big drive, Alex.
And Steve can crush it.
He really can. He's got that Brinster hop. It totally works for him.
I've tried to emulate it. It's not pretty.
And it just makes me get wild.
Yeah.
Ooh, MJ just misses his birdie look. Steve has this for a 3. That's a turkey for Brinster.
Just lining them up and knocking them down.
Yes, it's a good way to start off your round. And Kale and Philo also tapping in their birds. MJ tapping in the par. No shame in a 4 on that one. And Steve's doing some work so far, Alex. See if these guys can hang.
Man, Steve is crushing it. I haven't seen a lot of footage of Steve, and he's just terrific.
Yeah, he really tears up those East Coast courses. So that's gonna bring us to hole 4, a little shorty, 300 feet. There is OB like really close to the left of the basket and the right of the basket with those trees. It makes a hyzer approach kind of scary and tough. See a lot of people just throwing mid ranges right at it.
Right.
So it looks like Steve's taking that hyzer line though.
The risk is if you put it a little too far, you get stuck in that tree.
And is that what happened to him right there?
He's not too bad. He's right on the edge of the tree.
He's gotten out. So Kale taking a little shallower approach, and that looked good, Alex.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like Philo's throwing one of his rocks. Looks like a Casey Pro one.
One of many.
Yeah. I think you want a little more up on that, but it worked pretty well. And MJ Heiser flipping right at the basket. One of his comments, you think, or a banger or something?
I want to say that was his banger.
Is it? Yeah. And that was a nice puffer, too. So Steve straddling out of the tree. Try and get his birdie. Keep that train rolling. Wow. Killing it.
Steve is putting lights out.
Yeah. Philo matches, and Kale should have no problem with this one. There it is. And 4 holes in, and Steve has 4 birdies. And
He had his Wheaties.
Yes, he did. And up next is hole 5, 590. Pretty good dogleg right. Really not a reachable hole. You're not going to see any eagles unless somebody throws in a field ace. Kind of just a placement shot here.
Mm-hmm.
And Steve's up first. And the farther right you are, the closer you're going to be to the basket. But you got to make sure you kind of get around that corner.
Yeah, if you're stuck on that hill, it kind of blinds you from where the basket is.
Yeah. And there is OB long, which could come into play here. I threw as hard as I could on this hole, Alex, and it did not come into play. I did birdie it though, man. I'm gonna give myself a shout out right there.
Nice.
Yeah.
I put it about where Philo landed, and then I think I threw a forehand into the OB on the other side.
Yeah, it's a scary approach. It's kind of an island greenish, or a peninsula green. So everybody had pretty nice placement shots here, and MJ first with his second, throwing an Annie. And here's what you were talking about, Alex. You blind shot if you come up short. But that's pretty good for a blind shot.
These guys took their time. They walk out. They kind of see where it is, and then do whatever method they do, like point their arm at it as they sidestep back to their disc.
Mm-hmm. So Philo coming up a little short there. And Kale looks like he'd almost see the basket from where he is. Well, that's a nice looking upshot.
That's right where you want to be.
Yep. Steve second. Throwing a little anti-flex shot at it, and might not got all the flex he was hoping for, but he's close enough.
Yeah, he's what, maybe 20 feet out there?
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Steve's making that every time. So a Philo for bird. Ooh, just didn't give it quite enough, but did stay in bounds at least. And MJ, Steve, and Kayla. I imagine me carding some birds. Philo with the par there. And there's Kale with his birdie. Pretty good show on that hole.
These guys are making this course look really easy, and I promise you it is not.
No, it is long, and there's OB everywhere. But that's going to be up next. 280. This is probably actually the easiest hole on the course, I'm going to call it. What do you think, Alex?
I think it's the shortest one, certainly.
Yeah.
And all you really want to do is just, like, run right at it.
Yeah. Or the backhand hyzer line.
Yeah, if you put it up around that bush that's in the frame there, you're doing pretty well.
Yep. And looks like Steve did pretty well. Kale up next. So he's taking the more added approach you're talking about, Alex.
Mm-hmm.
And it worked. Gotta imagine MJ's gonna take the same line. And he does.
He's very confident with his hyzer flips.
That he is. He's the master of that. Him and Skelly throw some mean hyzer flips. So Philo throwing the hyzer, and most predictable shot in disc golf gets him there. MJ from about the circle's edge for bird. Gotta want it, Alex.
Steve's taking all of his putting mojo.
Steve, keep this birdie train rolling. Damn. He's killing it, Alex. That's 6 in a row, right?
It's very impressive.
Wow. We'll see if you can do it on the next hole. The next hole is an absolute beast. Kale makes his birdie putt no problem. And after 6, Steve 6 under. Kale doing some work too at 4. No joke. And that's going to bring us to hole 7, 945-foot par 5. Just a beast of a hole. It's lined with trees the whole way, OB to the right the whole way, and then eventually there's some OB left, and you got to throw over a little pond at the very end, Alex.
Yeah, there's this little island that's made by some channel of water running through there. Well, quote-unquote water.
Yeah. More mud at this point, I think. But Steve has a great drive. Just want to throw it just right up the middle and finish straight-ish. Ooh, Kale's getting a little more turn than he wanted, Alex.
And now he's stuck behind that tree. That's going to make for a hard-up shot.
Yeah. Really want to put yourself in a good spot here.
This hole's long enough that if you just hit, a solid drive right here, like Philo,
that is
right in the middle of the fairway.
That was a beast. That was a
He's
pretty
going to have a great
drive.
look from there.
Yeah, he really is. Oh, MJ. Oh, no. Hey, there's me. So MJ with a second shot. Oh, no, again. MJ's third. Planted down this right fairway and starting to get back in the swing of things here, Alex.
Plus he gets the skip.
Yeah, and roll into the other fairway. So here's where you're talking about Kale's tough lie. Throws an Annie and got a little high there, Alex.
Yeah, he kicked a tree branch they didn't want to hit. I'm sure he wanted to stay under all that.
Yeah. Steve, after a really nice drive, has this for a second. He's trying to get himself down there so he can get up and down for a 4. And that was a pretty nice drive, Alex.
He goes off into the right fairway there and lets it skip back. It's a nice shot.
Yeah. So Kale's third. Piping it right down the middle and caught a little tree, but I don't think it hurt him too much. So the basket is down there just to the left of that porta potty, if you saw it. And Philo, after just a beast of a drive, throws a killer second shot.
If you can get down there in 2 shots, you're doing really well for this hole.
God, I did not see anybody else do that like Philo right there. MJ with a rare forehand. But
There's a little chicken wire fence right there that he kicked off.
yeah, I'm sure that saved a lot of OB strokes over the week. So looking at Kale's 4th. Oh, did he go B, Alex?
No, he made it to the other side,
Did he? Okay, cool.
but he's way left.
Gotcha. So Steve's 3rd, hoping to get up and down from here for a bird. Ooh, skipped out a little more than he wanted. He's got a putt from over there, yeah?
Yeah, he's kind of in those trees, but at least he's over there.
Philo with a nice layup. MJ's 5th. Hoping that sits down so we can make a 6. And looking at Kale trying to save a par. Ooh, a little short.
There's Steve's leg right there.
If you can only see part of him, he must have a tough look from out there. Oh my, that was pretty amazing.
He must have had some kind of avenue through
Yeah.
those trees, because that was great.
That was. Bit of a rollout, see if he can make this comebacker to save par. It's his first par, but not too bad.
It was a great par.
MJ just missing that 6. He doesn't miss those short putts too often. And Philo for bird. Great putt. Great hole from Philo.
That's exactly how you want to play it. I don't know if anyone eagled this all week.
No, I didn't hear about any. If they did happen. But Steve taking the par, MJ taking a +2, Kale with a bogue, and Philo taking the lone bird. It's gonna take the box on hole 8, 265. I feel like this one plays a lot longer than 265. You're throwing over this OB trench, and the basket's on the other side of those trees. So Philo's taking this hyzer line, which I didn't see work very often, Alex.
That hyzer line is tough. Like, you got to throw it a long way and just hope you come in on the back of the green there.
Looks like Philo hit OB.
He went a little far.
Did he? Wow. Steve is also taking the hyzer line. Let's see if he can get lucky here. Getting the green flag. Doesn't look too stoked, but he's in bounds. So it looks like Kale's taking the Annie/forehand line, Alex.
Yeah, as he went up to drive, someone shouted from behind him and he had to stop and come back.
Really? Man, that's not cool.
This Annie line seems like the best one to me. Or if you could just, if you had a lot of faith in your forehand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
That's the only way I saw people park it.
Yeah, that's the only way I saw it too, with either a forehand or that Annie line. And MJ showing you the dangers of that hyzer line. It's just tough to get through those trees.
There's a trench there where the trees are, and it's all OB there.
Wow. Ooh, MJ almost saved par. And Philo with his par attempt. So, wow, it looks like he went a little long right, huh? Well, misses that comebacker for a par. And Steve also going a little long, this time left, has this for a birdie. Oh my gosh.
You can't believe it.
Yeah, you can't, kitty. Oh, brutal. So, see if Kale can card the lone bird on this hole. And he does. Nice work from Kale, getting a stroke on the card and a couple on MJ and Philo. And that is going to bring us to hole 9. 525-foot par 4. Probably one of the easier par 4s in the course, Alex.
Yeah, if you can just put it out to the right, there's a pretty big landing zone on the other side of those trees.
Yeah, and then the pin is on a little kind of island green, but it's big enough for how short of a second shot it is.
Right.
So it looked like Kale had a really nice drive. It's more of just a placement shot, trying to get out in the middle of the fairway. And Steve with the Brinster hop and the Brinster pull. That looks a little right, Alex.
Yeah, it's Heiser in back. He ends up back in that landing zone too. He's actually further up than Kale went.
Is he really? Wow. What a crush. Philo with his pull. Yep, he's in the fairway. Should be pretty easy up and down for any of these guys if they're in the fairway. Simon was going for this and won.
What? It's like 580?
Ridiculous. It's 525, but yeah,
okay.
It's still ridiculous. So you can see Kale's second shot. It's honestly just a pretty easy up and down from here. And Kale has no problem with that up. Neither does MJ.
The risk in going for it is you have this narrow catwalk. That's the fairway right there.
Yeah.
You got OB left and right.
Mm-hmm. I think Simon was kind of figuring even if he went OB, he might still be putting for a 3.
Right, I guess you're still down there.
Yeah. Kind of depends on where you if you cross inbounds or not. Woo! Steve almost looked like he's giving that an eagle run. Alright. MJ taps on that bird, no problem. Along with Steve. Ooh, that almost squeaked through.
Not on Steve.
And everybody carding a burn on that one. Like I said, probably one of the easier par 4s. And I believe, Alex, that's all we got for part 1, buddy.
That's it for the front 9.
Yeah.
See you on the back 9.
Alright guys, thanks for watching. Catch you around.